Are you ready to transform your normal e-commerce business into one that experiences exponential growth year after year using online advertising? If so, this show is for you. Me and my guests will show you how you too can grow your e-commerce business to 7 or even 8 figures so you can go on more luxurious vacations, spoil yourself and your family, say yes to more opportunities, and become financially free so you never have to worry about money again. Welcome to the e-commerce performance marketing show.
Hey, how's it going, guys? Welcome back to the Ecom Performance Marketing Show. As you know, my name is Josh Marsden, and I'm actually here with a special guest. So I've got here Attila Kerekes. Now, his store is herbiecat.com. It's herbie-cat.com. He's got a great e-commerce store, and he actually came on so this way I can coach him on his store, getting better performance, more sales, and just really attacking some of the challenges he's having so this way he can overcome those challenges and grow his store much faster. So I'm really excited to have him here on the show. This is a very different episode than we usually have versus some of the guests we've had on. But I just wanted to really provide a real world example of what it takes to be able to get a store to be successful through some of the strategies and tactics and recommendations that I can make in a live coaching environment. So I'm really excited to have Attila here on the show. Attila, welcome to the show.
Hi, Josh. Hi, everybody. I'm really looking forward to today's session. Live coaching, with you. I hope it will be a ton value out of this. So I have my pen and paper, and I'm ready to take notes. So, and also I'm hoping as much as value is laying there in for me, there will be plenty of value to others as well, and learn from those mistakes what I probably made, and you helping through this time, I'm think is very valuable. So thanks for the opportunity.
Yeah, you're welcome. Yeah, no problem. I'm happy to help you. I'm excited to help you. I love helping people. Why don't we just kick things off by you just telling the audience a bit about your story, your background, and why you got started with your e-commerce store.
Yeah, so probably the name or my accent gives it away. So I'm Hungarian, living in the UK since 2006, 2007. I have back home in Hungary, I have a MBA in marketing and finance. But when I arrived to the UK, my career took a completely different route. And in the last 12 years, I became a catering operations manager. Having said that, I always had entrepreneur, mindset, and I really want to have my own business. And this thing kicked off basically in 2011, or just after 2011, when my daughter was born. Grace, she's 9 at the moment. We just had her birthday in June, and of course we had the challenge with my wife. Is she coming back to work, and then Grace goes to nursery, and we will be better off with a couple of hundreds of pounds and not seeing our daughter, or she stays at home and I try to make the money. So the whole thing started that I opened an Amazon store. And I find very early success with that store. It was amazing. I was very early adopter. I was selling items what nobody else was selling around the world. So I started just normal fulfillment. Then it came to a point where I came home at work, and then I had hundreds of packages to envelope and write and post. So then I moved down the route of FBA. And then again, that's a great feeling, when you wake up in the morning and you have 200 emails from Amazon, sold ship. So that was brilliant. But then at my work, I had an opportunity to move up a ladder. So I dropped the Amazon side, which I do regret, because it was such a slow move in my career at work that I would have been a lot better off if I would have focused on the Amazon side. Fast forward to 2018, I had an opportunity to take somebody's business on Amazon. I just had a chat with a friend of mine. He had an e-commerce store, and he was in the catalog business, and he wanted to move his business from the catalog business to more of an online business. So he said, okay, if you can start, please take me to Amazon. So I did that, and then he said, okay, have you heard about Facebook advertisement? As I said, you might laugh a little bit, but it was only in 2018, 2017, perhaps. And I said, okay, I heard about it, but do not know much about it. And then he said, okay, here is this course, and referring to them, it was DM, Digital Marketer. So nice. I did all the certifications through that course. And then he said, okay, you can start running my ads. I said, okay, let's start. And I always had an approach that, it's my own money. So I started very little, and that business picked up amazingly. So I said, okay, I know Facebook advertisements a bit better now. So I said, okay, let's build my own store, because this is what I really would like to have, as a site as well, / something to take over my main income. So I created HerbieCat.com, which is basically based on our cat. 3 years ago, we rehomed the cat. He has a medical condition, FIV. Maybe people doesn't know about it. Is basically he cannot be with any other cats. So we rehomed him from a shelter home, and basically the internet, it was just full of not crap, but full of stuff where people were selling just without knowing how it could change the life of as a cat owner, and also as a life of the cat itself. So basically what we try to build the store around, it's our cat, and try to be as native as possible. And also what we do is anything we would sell, we would try it, and we would purchase everything first. We see how the cat likes it, how does it work for us, and if it's something what we think it's a good thing, then we put it in our collections, which is Herbie's own. So he has it, and then the others, I might have a few products which probably we do not own, that just goes to a general collection. And because again, it's just the approach of Facebook and social media in these days, and how your ads and everything should be look native. This is how, as I said, the store looks, how the advertisement is looking, and this is how we try to scale. The business is opened, we start selling probably around February, late February, early March. Again, it's picking up nicely, so we made a couple of £100 perhaps at the beginning, and within a couple of months, as I said, with very low advertising spend, it went up to $1,600-1,700 dollars. And yeah, of course, it has its challenges. Definitely cash flow is one thing, shipping is the other thing, and of course just creating content, because again, just to jump on from the qualifications or the courses I did once I finished with Digital Marketer, I went through Molly's Pittman course, Train My Traffic Person. So that was I think it was almost like a 4 or 5 months mentorship program with live course, everything. And I really like the concept of the pre-sale article. I really like the concept of giving value to people, but when it comes to e-commerce, it is a different. So this is where my mind is most of the time, and perhaps I can show you probably the best performing ad what we have at the moment to get the click. is really,
Well,
how to give value first to people, to make sure they trust your brand, they come to your
right,
website,
right.
they give their credit card details to you, and
Yep.
then you make that first purchase. But then, of course, you need to make the work to make them come back and purchase again,
Right.
because
Absolutely. Absolutely. Yeah. Well, I mean, and you've been through some of my, free stuff that I put out there with the
yes,
RM5 formula. So you know how important it is to create content, to put out value, to create that reciprocity, and have like an authority position with your brand, with your valuable content you're putting out. So it's great to hear that you're kind of already doing something like that as a part of your strategy, which is great. I love your story because like, you're doing it basically for your daughter and for your family,
yep,
to provide like a supplemental income that can also become your full-time income. This way you don't have to work, and this way you can spend time with you and your daughter and your family, which is powerful. And I resonate with that because I started my company back in 2013, primarily so I can be a better dad and be present and really create a schedule around my son, as opposed to having to adapt my son's schedule to my work, which is what a company at the time wanted me to do. And I was like, no, it's not going to happen. So it's great to hear that, you've got a similar motivation. And I know there's a lot of people out there that are watching this or listening to this, and they're probably in a similar circumstance where they're really motivated, really driven to get into e-com or grow their e-com business because they want to create the life that they want, whether it's for their kids or whether it's for themselves or whether it's for their loved ones. Either way, there's usually some sort of powerful motivation there, like what you and I had when we both started our businesses. So I really resonate with that. So tell us, like, what are your specific challenges right now that you're trying to like tackle, you're trying to overcome, so this way you can grow your business further?
yeah, it's definitely so. Just going back what you said is really it is. And people are out there and telling you, look, you have an e-commerce store and then you work 1 hour and then you can travel the world and all of that. Just take it with not a pinch of salt, but probably with a few kilograms of salt.
Yeah, at
Because
least.
that's not that easy. I mean, how I feel is you still have to work the same amount of time what you would do in a 9-to-5 job, but your job might be you work some hours in the morning, then you have the time to take your daughter to the school, then you work again, then you're able to pick her up, or if you have a son, him up, then you have time to go to play football or whichever you sport, and then once they are in bed or you're done with your dad work, then you can go back to your e-commerce. So you still have to do the same amount of work, just perhaps on the different scale. And then of course when you hit that point when you do have enough money, you might be able to outsource certain things. You don't have to do all the bits, but as I said, it's don't believe those gurus. And you mentioned your Unmask e-commerce summit, which been great. And I just went through. I can't remember it was two guys who were talking about Reddit.
Oh yeah. Austin and
Austin, yeah,
and
Aurel,
Matt, I believe.
yeah.
Yeah.
And it's a couple of days ago. I just set up a Reddit account and link it to my website and started to post pictures. I got a few hundred upvotes and things like this. So again, I think that Summit, what you put together is, again, it was great. And again, providing value to people, it's great. So I think people should listen to those who are happy to give value first, because and that's the other thing, because a lot of people just talking about things, you should do this, you should do that, but again, as they say, the proof is in the pudding. So
Yep.
again, just talking about things without doing it won't make you from A to B. That's for sure.
Yep. Totally.
Back to your questions. Challenges
Yep.
is one. It's definitely cash flow. You need to understand what you are spending money on, how much money you have. To starting drop shipping type of business, it doesn't need to mean you are importing goods from China. So you can think about Wayfair, but it's a multi-billion dollar company, and basically they are a drop shipping site. So, but you need to know your definitely your finances. You need to understand how much you're spending on your Facebook advertisement, how much you're spending on your Google ads, and how much you need to spend on product sourcing and all of that. And of course, there is a bit of delay with Shopify payment. If it goes through PayPal, that's almost instant. But if it comes through Shopify payment, you might have a couple of days, delay. So sometimes you just cannot finance your purchases from your sales, because otherwise it will rack up the timing of your shipping, and then you end up, your shipping times could be a lot longer if you're not purchasing your product. So that's perhaps a technical
cash flow constraints,
a cash flow thing.
Well, but here, let's stop there for a sec, because I think that's something we can really highlight and kind of talk about for a sec. Because when businesses are experiencing cash flow constraints, what's the root cause there?
I mean, it can be, very quick growth. I had that last month when orders were pouring in, and I wanted to process those orders, so I had to take, not from a business account, but from my personal account, to put some money into the business. Of course, eventually I will get it back, but it's just that. And also, I mean, is the other problem could be, of course, if you're just burning money on your advertisement and you are not hitting those figures, what you need to hit. So again, I would say it has to be planning behind it, because it's difficult. It's a lot of things what I think as a business owner you need to consider. You can focus on lifetime customer value, but then again, you would need to establish how much that customer worth for you, because you can break even on your first purchase if you have returning customers. If you do not have returning customers because your business model is not so good, your product is not so good, then you need to make money on the front end, which is difficult. That's what. So again, with that, even if you look at customer lifetime value, and then again, what products are you selling, you need to understand that if you break even on the first purchase, you won't make money until the second purchase. But if the second purchase comes 3, 6, 9 months time the line, it takes time. So again, it's just back to that point what we made earlier about gurus, and you only need to work an hour. That's why it takes time for a business to get into motion and start making you money. It is difficult, and that's why you need to understand that you have to provide cash flow for your business some sort, and depends where you are, and that's why if you find success and you find a product which is selling like hotcakes, you might need a support from somebody, or you might need to, if you could, move a bit of money around, because then it could just strain your business a little bit and stop the growth of your business. So that's why I think you need to understand business, you need to understand cash flow.
Yeah, well, you definitely have to be, like you said, fiscally responsible in business, absolutely. But I think that, just to kind of be very specific with the audience here, I mean, if you have a cash flow challenge, I mean, it could be management, it could be just strictly, not having a good process, or not being good at tracking, and not being able to have like the right reports to really be able to see your cash flow. That could be it. Or really what it comes down to is purely just sales, because, when you have a cash problem, you have a sales problem, because cash is oxygen. And if cash flow is under constraint, it means that, you're not making enough sales to ease that burden. Like, how are your sales, and what challenges are you having right now with generating sales so we can ease that cash flow stress?
I mean, what would of course would help is definitely, I would say, average order value. If that would be higher, that's the first time customers would generate more cash for your business. And of course, the repeat purchases. So again, as I mentioned, you might need to wait longer to have that second purchase. So again, it's related to cash flow, where I feel a little bit of weak at the moment is, email follow-up sequences, post-purchase email sequences. Again, sometimes, especially with new business owners, I think they are happy to make that initial sale, and they have ka-ching, and then that nice Shopify sound, but then you don't think it through. Okay, that purchase is done, how I can make that person more. And perhaps when they're in the mood to buy from you, you might just send them an email straight away, or a message if they sign up to your messenger or anything, here is an offer, or here is something in return. And so again, I think it's emails are very important. Again, I think I definitely do have a challenge there at the moment to have those email sequences, dialed in. But yeah, so probably.
So it's average order value, it sounds like, and then time to buy between first and second might be a challenge, and then also really optimizing that customer lifetime value. So this way you see more profit, more ROI. Does that sound right? Okay.
Yeah.
So average order value, let's just talk about just that metric and, the challenges you're having with that. And then we can kind of maybe talk about the other stuff too. So what do you think right now is affecting your average order value? This way you can make more profit from that first sale. What do you think are some of the challenges you're experiencing there?
I would say definitely. I think it's comes some of it to being a brand new business. It's not well established. So I think it's definitely would come with that as well. And also it's just to see it through as a business owner, what to offer with what. So for example, if somebody buys a cat bed, then what should I offer perhaps on the checkout page to make that first order bumped up a little bit? Should I offer a second cat bed? But then how likely or unlikely that the person who is buying has two cats, or has just only one cat, or so exactly to sell or to upsell what product with which product. So I think that's definitely, I would say, a challenge, because small items perhaps you can use a quantity discount. So if they buy more, too, then you give them 5, 10, 15% purchases. So in a tiered system. But as I said, it's sometimes it's just not realistic in life that order bump up quantity discount would work straight away, because they don't need to what you want to sell.
Okay. So let me ask you some questions and provide some feedback here. So do you have a like an actual lead generation strategy?
So what we have a very cheap product, basically what we're selling. And as I said, that ad is working very well in terms of Facebook advertisement, because it has probably more comments and more shares than likes. So it has maybe a few hundred likes and a few hundred comments and shares. So people are really engaging with that post. So it's definitely a good ad to buy the click, to have people come come to the side. But as I said, this is another challenge, which is, for e-commerce, how exactly doing lead generation. And because, when it's a very specific one. So again, is something what I would like to discover. And I think you mentioned him as well, Ryan Levesque, and the Ask method. So again, to introduce some sort of a quiz to generate leads.
Very top of mind right now, isn't it? Because his marketing is all over the place. Yeah, I know. I'm a JV partner. I was going to promote it, but I just don't have the bandwidth to do it because we've got other things we're doing right now. But well, first off, let me just say a few things, because I'm catching a lot of this in your communication, and I feel like it's an underlying self-limiting challenge, to be honest. And I'm just being, completely respectful here. But a lot of what you're saying is, like you said, you're saying with e-commerce, lead generation is an issue, and that's like a very self-limiting sentence. You're basically saying, like, with e-commerce, lead generation is not something that happens, and that's not true, like, at all. No matter what the business is, you can have a lead generation strategy that can work really well. Quizzes, work really well. I was in Ryan Levesque's highest level mastermind. I paid him $25,000 for 12 months and learned his entire, strategy process like the back of my hand years ago. So that stuff works for sure. But it could be simple guides, simple reports you're driving people to that are relevant to your brand, your product, your message, and that provide immediate value to people that you're attracting to your brand. And by having that too as a part of your strategy with ads, like if you were to take that ad that's doing well, it sounds like you have an ad that's doing well. And if you were to take that and instead of pointing them to your store to buy, point them to your lead magnet and a squeeze page that's done really well, get that to convert at 25% plus, and then show them the offer right after that, you're probably going to reduce your CPA, your cost per customer, quite a bit. And that's going to increase your ROAS and your immediate ROI, because it's cheaper to acquire a lead than it is to acquire a customer. Yeah. And so lead generation is definitely something you should emphasize in your store. Absolutely. I would highly recommend that you test that. And then also just create ads that are going out to your warm audience after, you try to get the customer, they don't buy, retarget them with ads that are talking about your lead magnet, whatever that lead magnet is, whether it's a guide, or report, or a quiz, and get them to go and take advantage of that with a good hook, a good value proposition in that ad, and also on the landing page itself. This way there's consistency, and get the lead that way. And then again, show them the offer on the thank you page too. So, I mean, those are two different strategies that can grow your email list faster than the pace you're at right now when you're just trying to acquire customers. And it's also going to reduce your cost per customer and increase your ROI from your ads, because it's cheaper to acquire a lead and a customer by asking them to take advantage of a lead magnet first, as opposed to asking them to buy first.
Yeah. Okay.
So it's a proper customer value journey.
So even with retargeting, you would retarget people again just to go through the lead magnet rather than go to a product page or selling them.
Well, it depends on what actions they've taken. Like if they click add to cart and they're getting along the buying process, then retarget them, go back and buy.
Yeah.
But if they just visit the page and bounce off, I mean, maybe do a 7-day retargeting to the product page, but then after that, retarget them into your lead magnet. This way you can capitalize on that click that you paid for. Because once you pixel someone, the name of the game is to maximize that value from you pixeling that person. And so you have to have that type of follow-up. And, honestly though, in some of our big accounts, we're spending, 50,000, 100,000 per month on Facebook. Like most of our front end traffic is content and lead magnets. And then, they eventually become buyers by using that whole lead magnet, show the offer afterwards. And then once we have them, after they become a lead, we can now retarget them into becoming a customer. So, I mean, it really does work. Doesn't matter what your ad spend budget is. It's definitely something you should definitely implement and test, because it's going to increase your ROI and your ROAS by focusing more on acquiring the lead as opposed to acquiring the customer, especially on those early touches.
Mm-hmm. So it's just, I mean, then probably is my second challenge coming from that, exactly to creating that lead magnet, because
It's easy. It's easy. So, and also I got some feedback for you on the product funnel strategy
Mhm.
too, because you said you had a hard time with identifying what else you should sell.
Yeah.
So let's make sure we talk about that today. But as far as like creating like a lead magnet, it's not rocket science. It's not hard. Literally, like digital marketer is a great resource for this. Like digital marketer, has how to create lead magnets in their digital marketer lab or engage, I believe. And they tell you like the top 9 lead magnets. But it's simply this, like come up with step by step, come up with like brainstorm, brain dump. Don't try to be perfect, but in a piece of paper, pen, dump maybe 10 lead magnet ideas. And then go through those and get down to like 3 to 5 that you feel like are the best. Then do like $100 on an ad campaign, driving people to an article that is on your site already or one you create, and have those lead magnet ideas as like the headline or the lead into the ad, and see which one gets the most clicks. Make sure there's equal distribution on the budget, the $100 being equally distributed between all 3 to 5, ad sets. And then after the budget's ran, see what the highest click-through rate is. And then now you know which lead magnet you need to create. Now that you have that lead magnet title, you can go to Upwork, you can go to FreeUp, you can go to WriterAccess, and you can ask a copywriter for a very affordable price to create a value-driven report following that specific title, and just have them create, that lead magnet in content. And they'll do it. It won't cost you that much money. We use WriterAccess quite a bit. I've used, Upwork and FreeUp in the past a little bit, but WriterAccess is what I recommend. And then once you have that content, then go to Fiverr or Upwork or FreeUp and find a graphic designer. They can create a high perceived value, like a very professional, well done guide that's professionally designed out of that piece of content that writer just created. And then that's like a week process. So a week process, you'll have a lead magnet that's high perceived value, valuable to your audience, tested, so you know that it's validated as an offer. And then you would have that free lead magnet that you can then create a squeeze page and an ad out of fairly quickly to be able to drive advertising traffic directly to a lead magnet squeeze page where you can start acquiring leads. And then you can show them that first time offer right after that on the thank you page. And you can give them an incentive too. Like, obviously you want to do that with a first time customer and say like, hey, thank you so much for requesting XYZ report. Based off of this report, I have this product that's relevant to this report that I'm happy to sell to you for X% off if you buy today. And just give them like an incredible one-time discount just to acquire the customer, and then have upsells and downsells to monetize the customer. Now we can talk about that.
Yeah, no, I think again is probably I was just overthinking a little bit. I mean, you telling the process like this does sound a lot easier, because I definitely do have ideas, and I think again it's just human behavior. I just put those back. I do it tomorrow. Because I was thinking, I have to do all the work, creating the blog post. And again, I was thinking, because all this giving value first, you need to provide value for that email address. So right. I didn't want to put, something out there and saying, okay, sign up and receive this. I knew the topic, what I want to give them. But as you said, it has to look value first rather than just a page what I put together. But following your process, what you just explained, I think it can help a lot, because I mean it's not a secret, because basically what I was thinking, how I can see, as I said, we are not just cats but more indoor cats, because as I said, our cat cannot go outside. And I think, or I hope, in terms of my business, that people are struggling, with nutritions and how to cater for their cat. So basically I have the pictures and everything, and again it comes down to a father and daughter activity is basically growing cat grass and catnip at home in your flat rather than buying it. So it's with your daughter, you have the little pieces of equipment you need, and you plant the seeds, you water them, all of that. So this is the lead magnet what I was thinking, and basically to have a downloadable guide.
Just do like top 20 tips, or top 20 resources in this COVID world. Have some sort of hook tied to the relevance of 2020 for now, and then in the future you can relabel it something else, but yeah, there's some significant opportunity there, man. I definitely would recommend running with that, because it can make a big impact. And is your store built on Shopify, or is it not?
Yeah, it is.
Okay.
It is Shopify.
So here's 2 plugins that also will increase your lead conversion, so you get more leads right away. I recommend this one primarily. letspin.io.
Okay, yeah, I saw that. Yeah.
Yep, because that integrates with Segmate, which is a really good Facebook Messenger software. So that one's really good. That's probably going to get you anywhere between 6 to 10% lead conversion on just visitors to your site. Wow. Which that's leads. And then if that one has a backup, Wheelio, which is WHEELIO.io. That one's a similar software, but doesn't integrate with Facebook Messenger, though. That's the only thing. But again, that will get you about 6 to 10% lead magnet conversion as well on visitors to your site.
Oh, wow. Yeah, I don't have those, so thank you for the.
Yep. You should also have like a pop-up software too, that after someone's been on the site for like maybe a minute, maybe 30 seconds, but maybe a minute, a pop-up that shows your lead magnet once you have it created. This way, when they land on the site, pop-up comes up, they could fill in their email address, and this way you can get leads, that way too. That would be powerful as well. So yeah, and then insert that lead magnet too eventually into any blog post you have on your site. You want to usually have an ad in the middle of the blog post, and then at the very end of the blog post. This way you can get people to sign up for that free lead magnet offer, and maybe tie it into, get this guide, and also on top of that, get 10% off your first purchase or something like that. This way you're not only getting the lead, but you're also giving them an incentive to buy too. And they can use it too right away. Like after they sign up and they submit their email address, they then go to the thank you page, and that thank you page shows the product, like your bestseller product is what I recommend. It shows your bestseller and says, hey, congrats, we just sent you, this free report. You can use your 10% off right now. This is our most popular product. This is the problem. This is the solution. And here's more benefits about the product, and here's testimonials, and here's social proof and things like that as well. Guarantee, things like that. You could have all that on the page as well.
Okay, so just to recap, so basically with the lead magnet, so if I would start from the beginning, and let's say I wouldn't have this idea, how to grow things at home for your cat, but basically you would just do a brainstorming, put ideas down, reduce them, let's say 3 to 5. Then set a budget to it, do an ad with that, as a headline. Then drive traffic to your page. You do not have anything there at the moment. It's just you just want to determine which idea is the best. Once you pick that idea, then you can go to Upwork or any other freelancer basically site, and for hopefully not a big of money, you can reach out to people to create that lead magnet for you. And then once you stick it back to your site, you can just keep driving traffic to it.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, it's going to be totally worth very small investment of copy, graphic design, totally worth it, because it's going to give you an asset that you can use, that you can then market both to cold traffic and warm traffic to be able to get more emails and get more leads. And also, like I said, I mean, just by incorporating that strategy with your ads, you'll be able to reduce your cost per customer because you're focused on the cost per lead as opposed to cost per customer. And it's just, in marketing terms, something free is a lower threshold offer, which people are much more open and receptive to. So the conversion is going to be higher. And so the result, you're going to get more results that way, as opposed to trying to drive people to buy a product which is a bigger step for someone to take. You know, it's just like the dating sense. You being a digital marketer fan, you know where I'm going with this. But you know, if you're, you know, business is like dating. You know, I mean, you know, you first get their number. You know, you first maybe take them out for coffee or a drink, then maybe take them out to dinner, and you know, it's a progression. And you know, in marketing, it's the same way. And so let's talk about your product funnel, because we've got a little bit more time here, and I really want to make sure that I give you some value on that too.
Yeah, just one last question on that lead generation, and just a technical. Would you rather do conversion and then just optimize it for the thank you page as a custom conversion rather than traffic? You would do conversion.
Yeah. Don't do it for traffic for sure. Yeah, do it for lead bagging conversion, because once the algorithms had some time to gather some data based off of the people that are clicking on the ad and then going to the landing page and then converting on the landing page, it's going to get better and better and better results in the conversions, and it's going to reduce the CPL, you know, over time as well. So yeah, definitely, you know, use the conversion objective.
I will put that in practice.
Good.
Thanks.
Glad to hear it. Make sure to provide your feedback in the Facebook group.
I will.
So let's talk about that product funnel, because I've got another 10 minutes here, so I really want to help you out with this. So you sounds like you're a little stumped on what the upsells or downsells should be to get more business right away, right?
Yeah.
Okay. So here's your answer: Amazon, and you have an Amazon background, so just find your best selling product on your site on Amazon, and just go to that page on Amazon, and then scroll down on the product page and see what the other recommended products are.
Also viewed, and also people who bought this, they also bought that.
Right. Yeah, totally. Exactly. And so, you know, and try to identify obviously a product that you already sell, or a product that you can source and you can test, whether it's first drop shipping just to validate, or source it yourself and, you know, pull it into your fulfillment process. I don't know what that looks like, but yeah, I mean, just base it off of Amazon. I would say, you know, that's easy, you know, because Amazon has access to so much buying data right now. So I mean, you could do the same thing with other sites too, like Walmart.com. Walmart's obviously similar to Amazon. This way you can get some options there, and ideally you want to have like 2 upsells, more or less, at least, because that's the challenge you're having is cash, and you need to increase your average order value and your customer lifetime value. So, you know, obviously the front end, you know, average order value. So add in some good upsells, and, you know, do a great job, obviously, with the copy and the messaging and things like that. Make it very beneficial to the first offer that people are buying. I would recommend using Zipify one-click upsell, ideally, because it's a great software. It's one click to buy after someone has made their first purchase. Just incorporate that. And then on the back end, after someone has become a customer, try to put together like some sort of bundle or subscription that will appeal to your best customers. And just test the offer with like a email campaign, a 1-week ad campaign, driving people to a sales page with that offer, and see if it converts, you know, and you know, that could do really well. Another thing too that can do really well for you, if you have some customers right now, here's actually a very simple upsell. It wouldn't be I wouldn't recommend this being like the first upsell. I'd recommend being like this. This should be maybe the third upsell. Ask people to subscribe to some sort of club for your store, you know, and you know, your store name was tell me again. Herbie. Yes. So the Herbie Club, you know, Herbie Savings Club, you know, something like that. So basically, like, ask people to subscribe to the Herbie Savings Club, and if they do, it's $10 a month, but they never pay shipping, and they get 10% off all time. You know, and that's $10. It's nothing. they'll be like, okay, especially by the time they get to that third upsell, because
Yeah.
those are the people that are really receptive to an offer like that, because they've already gone through several offers, they've already bought several times. And so now, you can basically say like, hey, subscribe to, my Herbie Savings Club, and you'll get free shipping. And on top of that, you'll save 10% on every order. What this is going to do, it's twofold. One, it's going to give you predictable revenue, and it'll grow over time. $10 isn't much, but once you have like 100, 200, 1,000, it's obviously very predictable, good revenue that you can base your business off of, which is awesome. And plus, it's going to encourage your customers to come back and buy, especially if you as the marketer are marketing out to them via email, like special offers for, Herbie Savings Club members. This is a great testing bed for some of those upsells I mentioned, with like a bundle, or a subscription that makes sense. I mean, that's what I would recommend doing, because that's going to help you with your average order value, and it's going to help you with your customer lifetime value too, which is going to help you with your return on your ad spend altogether.
Yep. No, that's good. It's very good.
Good.
Definitely. I need to look into these upsells as well.
Yep.
And to have a look at the Amazon reviews, and also bought and also viewed, all of that. I think that's a good hack there. What people probably should do as well. Definitely.
Yeah, definitely. Well, Attila, it was great. I'm glad I was able to help you out here and spend some time with you. I'm here at the end of my time here, but if you could just leave maybe the audience with how they could find your store and how they can check out your products, that'd be great.
Yeah, so basically, as Josh mentioned, so it's herbie-cat.com. Just please go there, and if you are a fellow marketer, just send me a message, and I would be happy to connect with many more people, with the same interest. And thanks to you as well. I probably should have said at the very beginning, how I came across with your program, the Unmasked e-commerce mastermind, what you put together, during this lockdown period. And I think people, should check out your 5 formula, what I'm about to do as well. Again, you are one of those marketers as well who like to provide value first. And, it's already this lead magnets is something new. Well, as I said, I had a bit of a limited belief in e-commerce and lead magnet, because with digital product, it's easy to discount and offer something for $9, which otherwise costs you thousands. But no, this definitely, makes sense, and also great suggestion. Rather me try to create something phenomenal, just go to Upwork or Fiverr, and with a small investment you can have something very great, which just makes you a lot of money eventually again. And I think this is probably the last thing I would say, that people should think about these things and as investments rather than costs. And
very important. Yep.
Definitely.
Yeah, that's awesome. That's wise advice. Well, Attila, thank you so much for being on the show.
No,
thank you so much for giving me the opportunity to help you as well. And guys, go to herbie-cat.com. Check out the products that Attila sells. He sells some high quality products, and obviously he's a great guy. So definitely go to his store and check out what he sells, especially if you're a cat lover yourself and your cat's stuck inside and you want to be able to take the best care possible of your cat. Well, Attila's your guy. Go to his store, check it out. Attila, thanks so much for being on the show. I appreciate it, man.
Thank you for tuning into the e-commerce performance marketing show. If you enjoyed this episode, be sure to subscribe, like, and comment with a timestamp of your favorite part and share it with a friend. Until our next episode, here's to you and the success of your e-commerce business.